All right, team, coming at you with a little bit of a template to help you move better. Now, this template is something that I really like to use for a full body quality movement session. Now, I'm not saying that this is something that you have to do prior to your workout or extending your workouts with this. This can be a warm-up, or this could be a standalone session. We can subtract parts of this, we can add parts of this, depending on how much time you have. So there's going to be 4 areas that we're looking to hit in this session. The goal here is to feel really good at the end of the session, move well, feel really good, okay? So the first part is going to be our vision and balance systems. These are going to be your higher order neuro systems that I think get neglected, especially if we're spending a ton of time in front of our computer screens, locked in. Our vision gets terrible, and our balance gets worse as we age. So we're going to spend some time hitting that first. And then we're going to go into some coordinated mobility exercises, then dynamic stretching, and then we'll get into some integration of movement integration. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is the vision and balance. We can keep this very, very simple. There is a plethora of exercises that you can do, but the end of the day is when we're talking about these skills, what aren't you very good at? What do you need to improve? Whatever that is, you don't need to spend hours doing this, just do it often. Okay, so we're going to pick 2 exercises, one for the visual system and one for the balance system. Okay, we're going to keep this really simple. First one is going to be pencil push-ups for the visual system. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a target like my finger, or I could use the tip of a pen. I can use anything really, and I'm going to start with that target out in front of me at eye level. I'm going to bring that target in, keeping my eyes on it. I'm going to stop before that target goes double, and then come back out. 3 to 5 repetitions will keep it really simple. Okay, now I'm just going to stop at 3, just for time's sake. Okay, that's our vision exercise. I will say this, with your vision and balance stuff, you can do this every single day before sessions, whatever your training is. Do it for 4 weeks before you switch it up, before you progress it. Okay, it's really simple. You're getting a small amount of repetitions, as much as possible, for an extended period of time. Okay, our balance exercise, let's switch angles here. Our balance exercise, very, very simple. Again, we're not going to go crazy with this. Feet together. This is what our Romberg's test, essentially. So feet together and close your eyes. You might feel yourself swaying side to side or just one side. Notice what you're doing. Okay, that might feel really easy for you. If it feels really easy for you, you can challenge yourself by going into a sharpened Romberg's position. So one foot in front of the other, and same thing, close your eyes. Okay, now you could do that with both feet. Okay, another exercise that you could do, feet together, eyes open, keeping your eyes on a target and rotating your head side to side. Okay, you could go up and down, keeping your eyes on the target. Okay, whatever you choose, you want it to be safe but challenging for you, and just continue to do that before your training sessions, before your movement sessions, and do it for an extended period of time in terms of weeks. So like 4 weeks. All right. If you get better at it, you can start to challenge yourself more and more. So that's our vision and balance. A lot of people don't do it because it's super complex or it feels like it's very time consuming, but this is a simple way to integrate it in. Do it first, right? You have the most willpower and energy, do it first. From there, we're going to go into mobility. There's 3 big areas that I'm going to focus on in terms of mobility. I like to focus on the spine, right? I like to focus on the shoulders, and I like to focus on the hips. Those tend to be your problem areas. For you specifically, if you're more like, oh, my shoulders are good, but my hips are really awful in terms of their movement, maybe you spend more time on your hip mobility, okay? But for today's purposes, we're gonna keep this very simple, all right? I'm just gonna bring my hands back behind me. We'll do some neck mobility exercises, so flexion, extension. Rotations. Call this the parallel parking mobility exercise. Of course, now every car has a screen, so you don't have to do this. Lateral flexion. And double chins. Okay, so that's part of our spine. We'll go into it more by doing our cat-cows. I'm just doing these standing. If you've ever done yoga, you've done them on the floor. And you're noticing that I'm not spending a ton of time on each one of these exercises. I'm just working on quality, a few good repetitions. From there, shoulders, okay? So we moved from our spine to our shoulders, and we're gonna go into our corkscrews together, exploring that range, into our alternating corkscrews. Shoulder is one of the most freely moving joints, so I like to give it a little bit more love. From there, max amplitude shoulder circles. I'm working on not going into a bunch of extension in my spine, but really trying to isolate the shoulders. Full range of motion, reverse. Now, if I was really trying to spend time on really isolating certain joints, I certainly could do that, but the goal here is mobilize the body, make it feel really, really good, okay? From there, we're gonna go down to the hips. Simple exercise, scrape the barrel, moving those hips through that full range of motion. Reverse. If I wanted to make this harder, I shouldn't say harder, but more challenging, I could change up the distance in my feet. I could play around with different angles in my feet. Okay, now from there into our hip cars, moving up and around that full range of motion. Reverse. This is me isolating these joints. This exercise is more challenging for me, so this is where I'm spending time trying to really dial in my ability to perform it. Okay, other side. This side is even worse. Reverse. And you may have seen people do these on the floor as well. A lot of different ways to do it. And done. That's my basic joint mobility that I'm going to hit right now. Now we go into some dynamic stretching. So the first thing that I'm going to go into is my spinal roll. So yep, back to the spine. You'll feel stretch probably through the low back, hamstrings, calves. You can do a few reps here. Last one. And then from there, we'll go into a dynamic hamstring stretch. So if you've ever heard of a death march strength exercise, we're essentially just going to do a non-strength version where I take a step and it's like I'm doing a single leg deadlift or RDL while I'm walking. I can go forward, I can go backward, prime way to dynamically stretch those hamstrings. Okay. From there, we'll take it down to the floor. Okay. Half kneeling position. We're going to go half kneeling lunge and play around with this a little bit. So I'm looking for 90 degrees on each leg here, keeping the heel down. I'm going to drive forward and then push back. So I'm getting kind of like an Achilles stretch into the Achilles. I'm getting a little bit of a hip flexor stretch as I'm going forward, but I'm more so biasing my ankle and knee. Now from there, I'll find the middle of my foot, scoot my heel forward, and now I get a little bit more, I'm changing where I'm feeling that. I'm getting it more into my left hip, into my right hip flexor. Same thing, driving forward, coming back out of that. From this back leg, I'm just gonna pivot here, and now I'm going to getting it an adductor stretch. And now I can switch 90 degrees. Back on this side, I'm feeling it more in that Achilles. Three to 5 reps is all I'm doing here. Focusing on quality. Okay, find my instep, move the heel forward, and now I'm getting it more into my hip flexor and into my right hip. Okay, open that stance up, and now my adductor lunge. From here, I'm going down to my wrists. I'm going to be spending some time on the floor doing some floor movements today, so I'm going to prep my wrists. I'll do a few different stretches here, moving in and out of it. Just getting them ready to bear some load. Turn them over, wiggle my fingers, make a few fists. I think a lot of people have challenge with this, especially working the desk jobs. And then my final dynamic stretch in the kneeling position. We're going to go back to spine, shoulders, adding in that rotation. I'm just reaching for those back feet. And that part is done. So we've just accomplished 3 of those parts. Our last place is we're going to start to integrate more of this movement, locomotion. This is a great place to just enhance your movement. It's going to incorporate some strength components, some strength mobility, strength flexibility components. And at the end of this, you're just going to feel really good. It's good for the brain and it's good for the body, okay? So there's 5 exercises that we're going to hit trying to move in ways. We can go 3 rounds. We could do 2 rounds. You can go for time. You can go for repetition. But I think an easy place to start with this, 20 to 30 seconds on each movement, 2 to 3 rounds, okay? And you get to assess. So the first thing we're going to do is our bear crawl. So nice and high, we're going to move opposite hand, opposite foot together,
pressing through that floor with our arms, keeping those hips high. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the middle of my mat. I'm gonna spread my feet, drop into my deep squat here. And I'm pressing those hands. I'll lift, come down. Press, lift, come down. And I'm just using this opportunity to explore that squat a little bit more. Okay, now from here, our deep squat, we're gonna go into our thoracic bridge. So we're gonna come back to this hands and knees position. I'm gonna lift my knees, sweep through, bridge, down. Sweep through, bridge, down. What I love about this exercise is we're moving around the shoulder. And I'm just gonna do 3 on each side. Okay, come back to my deep squat, and then I can take a seat. Next exercise is our crab walk. Now for me personally, getting into extension in my shoulder is challenging. I love the crab walk for this. So I bring my hands back behind me, lift my hips, and now opposite hand, opposite foot, I'm going to walk. This is a great move for me, especially in extension. Okay, from there, take a seat, drop in my shin box. Shin box lift. Come back down. I can use my hands to switch if I want, or I can use no hands. Shin box lift. Okay, that's 5 exercises. We're gonna do it one more time, and I wanna give you a little bit closer. So I'm gonna give you a different angle here. And we're gonna go back to our bear crawl. High hips, opposite hand, opposite foot, moving together. Now, what I'm thinking about as I'm going backwards, I'm pressing through the floor with that shoulder. That's helping me get that overhead position. Okay, now from here, I'll come back into my deep squat. Now I can just maintain this position and work on the deep position of my squat, my posture here. You can hold this for time. You could even do squats if you wanted to. Okay, from there, hands and knees, we go into the thoracic bridge. I'm just going to do 3 reps. Back down. Back to my deep squat. Take a seat. Crab walk. Okay. Shin box. Lift. When you take the hands out of the equation, you really got to create stability here.
and done. So 4 parts: high level neuro, vision and balance, mobility, coordinated mobility, dynamic stretching, and then movement integration. Again, when it comes to time, you don't need your warm-ups, you don't need your movement sessions to be 30 minutes of warming up to do it. You can start to whittle down that time, and you know, we integrated 4 parts here, so this could be a little bit longer, but you could subtract some parts. You could take away the dynamic stretching. You could take away just this movement integration prior to your strength work. You could remove the vision and balance work if you wanted to, and just do the movement and dynamic stretching. The key here though is that like you're being a little bit more methodical about your movement training and starting to take a smarter approach to achieving better overall movement, better mobility, better flexibility, and then just really improving the way you function overall. All right. Let me know what you think about this little sequence, thoughts, and if there's any way I can help you, please reach out.